All right, Coach, we go into week 3 after another big win. Any new thoughts as you get back from Syracuse, able to digest that tape?
Well, we're 2-0, and so that was the number one goal by far. And I was proud of our players, proud of our staff. They handled a long road trip, a lot of potential distractions where it was, and just weather and all this stuff, and got better from week 1 in some areas. So now it's time to get better in week 3. Opponents just kind of get a little better, I feel like, each week, and we're going to have our hands full. And so we're going to have to play a lot better pass defense, really. Last week the key was we got to run the ball better on offense, and I thought we did that, and that helped us win the game. And now we're going to have to play better pass defense this week.
What was it with the pass defense? Is it those outside corners you talked about? Specifically, what do you want to see from them in practice this week?
Yeah, consistency out there. A lot of completions outside, and always we can rush the passer better, and that'll help us.
Another special game from Robert Woods and Marquise Lee. They had 21 of the 23 catches combined. Is it a case where you're happy anytime you can get them touches, or do you want to see more guys involved in the passing game?
Yeah, we'd like to be more balanced. We'd like their touches to be up where they were, and because they're so dynamic with the ball in their hands. And you saw it on 2 runs too. So anytime we can get the ball in their hands, some good things tend to happen. So we need to keep doing that, but we also need to find a way to get other guys more involved also.
You guys did face some game pressure at 21-16, almost the fourth quarter. Syracuse had the ball. You have some battle-tested guys, but obviously some new blood out there, so were you happy with how the team responded to that?
Yeah, I thought we finished well in 2 or 3 phases. On special teams, we finished the game well. On offense, 21 points in the fourth quarter. And unfortunately, on defense, we didn't finish well. We started really well on defense, first 5 possessions, 1 interception and 4 punts. But we're going to have to finish better than that.
You mentioned special teams. In a game that didn't have that much energy, it seemed like special teams really provided some emotional sparks. Robert had the big return, but also the punt game. Kyle Negretti, I think, 3 times pinned him inside the 20, and great coverage out there. Talk about what a lift they provided throughout the game.
Yeah, a lot of little wins on special teams. Great coverage units. You talked about the punt, the kickoff. I don't think they started outside the 20 all day long, and so it's great to see our guys having that much energy about special teams, and obviously a lot of credit goes to John Baxter.
Lacking some depth at defensive end, how valuable has Morgan Breslin become, and are you surprised by it?
Yeah, he's been a star of our team. He's created through 2 games a lot of explosive plays, whether it's sacks, whether it's tip for interception, whether it's rush, it ends up being a turnover. So a great surprise for us, really, to where he was at the beginning of camp.
After 2 games of tape, what kind of idea do you have of what Stanford looks like post Andrew Luck?
Well, it's not easy to replace. A guy who's the best prospect ever to come out, as some people said. So, and they lost a lot of other parts on offense too. But they have a great system. They're very well coached. They're always going to run the ball really well, and they have a great front 7 on defense. That this is one of the better front 7s in the entire country.
What do you know about their new quarterback?
Yeah, he's been efficient. Hadn't turned the ball over much, which is a key when you're young, and he'll gain experience and keep getting better.
You talked, the pass rush has been pretty solid, at least in the sack departments for this young defensive line. Is this the first test they'll get in terms of a team just lining up and trying to go through them, though, and what do you expect in that department?
Yeah, this would be an old-fashioned pro style, even more 2 tight ends and extra linemen than you normally see. So we're going to get tested, I'm sure. I'm sure they're going to turn around and hand it off and see what we can do.
Yeah, Stanford did seem to throw it a lot more last week than what we're sort of they've become known to do. Do you expect them to return to that sort of power run identity from years past, though?
I don't know. That's always a guessing game. Whether they're going to turn to the running back because that's where their veteran is, or let the quarterback get going. Because they do a great job of coaching and finding a lot of easy completions.
The veterans on this team have experienced back-to-back heartbreakers against Stanford, games lost at the death. Is that something you bring up to them, or does it sort of speak for itself this week?
No, we don't really go that direction with our team. This will all be about preparing ourselves and who we're playing, and not anything that happened before.
The first Pac-12 road game it sort of became a thing in the Pete Carroll era. It was always a difficult test. Last year was Arizona State, and that was a tough game. Do you put any stock into that?
I don't think so. Because we just did a hard test. As far as going on the road, a lot of times maybe your first road game is your conference. So in general, your first road game, there's a lot of tests that go with it. So as far as travel and distance and time, this will seem like nothing.
There are now 5 teams in the Pac-12 and the AP Top 25. Some big wins over the weekend. Were you able to take a look at it, and what do you make of how the conference is shaping up after 2 weeks?
Yeah, I didn't see any of it. We got out of there late after the weather delay and the long flight back, and so I didn't see any of the stuff. But I just assume that it just speaks to this offseason. Some great hires this offseason, some dynamic coaches, and it's showing up.
All right, conference schedule begins this week. We're looking forward to seeing USC versus Stanford on Saturday night. Thanks.
Thank you.